This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
I'm not wanting to go out to the grocery store. I'm not wanting to bring our kids out right now.
A local catering company is helping families stay safe at home. How a new meal option launched during the pandemic is helping the company stay open.
For the second straight day, Indiana sees a record number of new COVID-19 cases, where the state now stands.
Students in Carmel are set to return to the classroom next week. Why parents are not confident in the district's plan, what they want to see happen to keep their kids safe. Thank you for joining us on the news at 6 on this Friday evening. I'm Amanda Starrentino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. First at 6 o'clock tonight, IMPD is identifying 4 officers who are named in an excessive force lawsuit filed by 2 women arrested during the downtown protests on May 31st. We are now learning the excessive force lawsuit was filed against IMPD Sergeant David Kinsey and IMPD officers Conrad Simpson, Jonathan Horlock, and Nathaniel Shawwecker. The officers arrested Ivory Westfield and Rachel Harding. The lawsuit alleges the women didn't know each other before the night they were arrested. The suit says as the night's curfew approached, Westfield realized her ride home wouldn't be available because of blocked traffic. The 2 women met and Harding agreed to drive Westfield home. The lawsuit states about 45 minutes after the curfew, Harding and Westfield were walking to the car when, quote, multiple officers of IMPD approached them in an aggressive manner, end quote. The lawsuit says both women were cooperative when IMPD officers fired pepper ball rounds at Westfield, breaking the skin and causing welts, while also allegedly pushing Harding to the ground. IMPD Chief Randall Taylor says there is an internal investigation underway. The department confirms Sergeant David Kinsey and Officer Conrad Simpson remain on full active duty, while Officers Jonathan Horlock and Nathaniel Shawwecker are on administrative duty. Police recommended charging Harding with violating the excessive order and charging Westfield with battery against a public safety official, as well as violating an executive order. But the Marion County prosecutor declined to file charges against those women. This week, Call 6 Investigates uncovered that some of the largest police departments in central Indiana are not participating in a national use of force database. The database helps create statistics and dialogue surrounding when police use of force on people, as well as demographics like the race of those involved. Call 6 Investigates surveyed the largest police departments and found Muncie Police and Indiana State Police are not sending their use of force data to the FBI's national database. It's not clear why they are not participating, but it is worth noting that IMPD sends their data to the national database on a monthly basis. There's no penalty for police agencies who don't send their use of force data.
Another sunny and fairly comfortable day outside. It's great Friday weather, but there are a couple of changes possible this weekend. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory shows you what to expect. Hey, Kev.
And I don't think either change, Amanda, will have an impact on weekend plans, so go for it. Whatever you're planning to do should work out. Maybe a slight chance of a thunderstorm on Sunday. That chance wouldn't be any greater than about 30%. But a beautiful evening in progress. We touched 80 today. That's significant. Temperatures and humidity both climb tomorrow. We're still at 80 in Indianapolis. Cool spot. Columbus at 77. Temperatures in the metro area, you can see upper 70s to around 80. Plainfield at 81. The warmest. Rise and shine. First thing in the morning, I do think we'll see some patchy, dense fog overnight into the morning hours tomorrow. Once the fog leaves, it's all about sunshine and rising temperatures. We'll talk about how the afternoon finishes and what changes for Sunday coming up.
See you soon. For the second straight day, Indiana has a record number of newly reported COVID-19 cases. The State Department of Health says there are 1,253 new cases of the coronavirus. Yesterday, there were 1,051 new cases of COVID-19. The state also confirms 12,884 more people have been tested for the virus. That's also an increase from yesterday. So far, more than 817,000 Hoosiers have been tested for the coronavirus. 8.8% of them tested positive for it. The Indiana Department of Health confirms 10 new COVID-19 deaths. That is up from yesterday, too. Since the pandemic began in March, 2,821 people in the state have died from the coronavirus. And right now, data from the state shows about 33% of Indiana's ICU beds are available. COVID-19 patients are using 13% of the ICU beds. Non-COVID-19 patients are using around 54% of the beds. Nearly 81% of the state's ventilators are available as well.
Restrictions during the pandemic have closed businesses, canceled events, and forced business owners, well, to get creative. We've showed you restaurants launching curbside delivery and other businesses launching online stores. Tonight, our Nicole Griffin is showing us how a local catering company impacted by restrictions is serving Hoosier families.
When weddings and events were canceled in March due to the coronavirus, Nameless Catering had to quickly come up with an idea to keep their business going. That's when they started making frozen family meals, and they say it's a concept many of their customers now rely on. It's really made a big difference on giving me some more flexibility with timing now that everybody is home. Between the two of them, Tammy Wegman and her husband have 5 children. In April, as she focused on keeping her family safe, Tammy started ordering Nameless Catering's frozen family meals. I'm not wanting to go out to the grocery store. I'm not wanting to bring our kids out right now. So this has really been a nice option where the kids get to pick something. We keep them in the freezer. The delivery option has been really awesome for us. It's an idea CEO Jeremy Brown has wanted to launch, but was so busy with catering orders, never had the chance. But when events started getting canceled during the pandemic,
the back end of March was pretty treacherous.
He decided now was the perfect time.
When your primary bread and butter is having large groups of people come together and eat together, and then having large groups of people come together and eat together becomes illegal, that becomes a challenge. We were actually able to reopen 2 of our kitchens because of it, because it just got so busy so quick.
Families can order the meals online and get them delivered. Each one serves up to 4 people. If last minute plans come up, it's not a big deal. I don't have to pull it out. If last minute plans come up and I need that meal, I need to add something because maybe the college kids are going to be home for dinner when we didn't know it. They're right there in the freezer, and I've got a healthy option without having to worry about running out to the store. With weddings and events now starting to pick back up, Nameless Catering is busy once again. But Brown says as long as there is a need, the family meals will continue. Working for you, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And starting the frozen family meals allowed Nameless Catering to reopen its facility in Anderson and bring back 4 employees. Right now, they are offering delivery within an hour of Indianapolis and Anderson and expect to resume shipping meals across the state in the near future.
I'm very concerned, obviously, with all the spike in the cases in the last 2 weeks.
Some parents are not confident in Carmel Clay School's safety plan as students are set to return to class on Thursday. Those parents say they want more options for their students to safely learn. RTV6's Stephanie Wade shares their concerns and has the district's response tonight.
As more and more cases are being reported at school districts across our area, some parents in Carmel are concerned about the Carmel Clay School's safety plan as they are set to return next week.
It's pretty frightening.
Stephanie Stewart wants to send her children to school, but safely, she says. Carmel High School and middle school students were given the options of completely virtual learning or a hybrid of in-person and e-learning. Elementary students, however, were not.
I just wish they would just make it 50% capacity. It would be so much more manageable. 2 days e-learning, 2 days at home. It would help the parents that work from home like me.
Why not be safer than sorry it's our children.
Barbara LeMay has decided to keep her kids home and do solely e-learning, but says not everyone has the means or ability to do that.
Not everybody has that choice, and we're not listening to those people. Like, their choice is to send their kids in person where it's dangerous or nothing.
Stewart is also worried about students being spaced only 3 feet apart, according to the CCS plan, as opposed to 6 feet.
3 feet, they're going to be reaching their arms out and touching each other.
It's something Dr. Jennifer McCormick, the state superintendent of public instruction, addressed yesterday, saying it's safe enough to separate desks by only 3 feet.
It seems like we're in too much of a hurry to pretend there's not a great big world event happening, and there is.
Parents fearing not just that people will get sick, but also the inconsistency.
If you have that many children crowded together, Someone's bound to come down with it. It'll be 2 weeks at home, back to school, back home again, back and forth. That inconsistency is also so disruptive to learning and so difficult for the parents to manage.
Stewart took these concerns to the superintendent, but the district is not budging on offering hybrid for elementary students.
And you talk to the health department and they point to the schools and say, we're giving them the freedom so they can be nimble, I heard yesterday. Well, it's not nimble. There's a huge loophole and the parents are caught in the gap and they have no recourse. And that, quite frankly, is unacceptable.
Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
The superintendent tells RTV6 the reason the elementary students are not offered the hybrid option is because it's believed they can follow the guidelines set by the medical community, and it's the best educational program they can offer K through 5 students. With the number of students in high school and middle school, they did not believe they could follow proper safety guidelines and social distancing. Noblesville Schools has confirmed its first COVID-19 case at Noblesville High School. The director of communications for the district says the person who tested positive was only present at an athletics practice. Neither the sport nor the time of the practice was made available by the school. Those who have come into contact with the person have reportedly been given notice by the district and were instructed to isolate at home. The district says the majority of staff and students at Noblesville High School were not directly exposed. And new at 6, we're now learning at least 3 students and 2 staff members at Avon Community School Corporation have tested positive for COVID-19 since the start of the new school year. That's according to the district. Students and staff in Avon returned to school on July 29th.
This week, a state lawmaker sent a letter saying if schools do not open for in-person instruction this year, they could face a 15% cut in funding from the state. The lawmaker who sent this letter to school districts is Republican State Senate Leader Rod Bray. Now, the reason Bray says Indiana could slash funding to school districts who don't open for in-person classes is because of a current state law that calls for less money to be spent on students who take a majority of their classes through virtual learning. You may recall Governor Eric Holcomb has said the state's K-12 schools would not face budget cuts despite declining tax revenue caused by the pandemic. So Bray's letter seems to contradict what Governor Holcomb has said in the past. And just in tonight, the statement from Governor Holcomb himself, he says, quote, "As I've said before, I am committed to providing 100% funding to schools as they navigate the unprecedented challenges of opening the academic year during the COVID-19 pandemic. Many schools are returning with classroom instruction thanks to the Herculean efforts of our public health officials, educators, students, parents, and communities. They all need our support now more than ever," end quote.
It's been just a lot of having to adjust and be okay with change because you never really know what's going to happen.
Colleges and universities are getting ready to welcome students back to campus. Fall semesters are set to start this month. RTV6's Megan Sanctorum went to Bloomington to see what Indiana University is doing to keep students and staff safe during the pandemic.
Many students will start moving back into the dorms this weekend, but the start of the school year could look a little different as university leaders say they're making some adjustments to help keep people safe.
When you think of college move-in, you probably picture something like this. Thousands of students on campus, many bringing friends and family to help out. This year, a much different scene will unfold as IU staggers move-in days and times to promote social distancing.
Definitely been different than obviously years in the past.
Some freshman athletes are on campus already. They and all incoming students will be required to get a COVID test upon their arrival. IU leaders say students and staff members will continue to be tested regularly throughout the semester.
We're going to be checking to make sure if there is a hint of an outbreak, we're on top of that, and then using contact tracers, we're going to be looking to make sure we can get in touch with the people who may have come in contact with somebody.
We also know many classes will be online rather than in person. In-person class size has been reduced to follow state and CDC guidelines. The school also has around 540 dorm rooms on campus that have been set aside for those who do test positive for COVID-19. IU Health will provide virtual screenings and healthcare visits for students as well.
We're going to be working with students in a way that we obviously didn't need to do before on the healthcare front.
The university has not released information on a specific number of positive cases that would prompt a total shutdown. Students we spoke with say they hope it doesn't get to that point.
So I think it's going to depend a lot on everyone doing their part and being safe and smart about things, because that's, I think, the only way that things are going to be able to get better.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
IU is also asking students to follow local ordinances that ban large gatherings like parties. They say students who violate those restrictions could be expelled.
A new trend emerges within the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about our rain chances this weekend and next week.
How would you like a chance to play at Victory Field? But don't bring your catcher's mitt. You'll need your pitching wedge. We'll show you the Indians' plan to bring golf to their well-manicured outfield.
Keep your phone handy and snap a picture of what will surely be a beautiful sunset this evening. This is looking west. I think later tonight, after the sunset, probably after midnight, we'll begin to see the fog form. But right now, the emerald green grass there and then the White River in the background. The temperatures, they did hit 80 today and they're still there. That's significant because only on 2 occasions this month have temperatures reached 80. But you'll see within the 7-day forecast, the next 7 days will all be at 80 or above. We may hit 90. That would be on Monday. Wave goodbye to the 50s, but one more night of comfort on the way. Humidity is low. The wind will be light. That patchy fog. Temperatures middle to upper 50s for the morning low. Quickly, we'll go to work with partly sunny skies, a little more humidity, hit 85 tomorrow afternoon. Chance for thunderstorms a little more significant Sunday afternoon at 30%. The best chance will come Monday for more widespread showers and thunderstorms. There's kind of the bar graph of our rain chances. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday, we'll keep that rain chance anywhere from 40 to 60%. If you think you're in need of a little rain, you should cash in at some point here over the next week. As you look at these humidity levels, they're still comfortable tomorrow. They'll get in a range where pretty humid through most of next week, which means when we do have the thunderstorms, they'll have the ability to produce some heavy rainfall with that moisture in the atmosphere. This is what I'm talking about, noticeable leaps in the overnight temperature as well. Monday morning temperatures will be in the 70s to get the next work week started. But we've got the weekend ahead. Let's enjoy that. Temperatures close to the mid-80s. The wind will be light. Humidity just slowly starting to creep up across the state. The wind will be out of the south. That's the key to changing the humidity and the temperature. I want to show you Sunday, there may be a fading shower northern Indiana and then approaching western Indiana in the afternoon, an area of some showers and thunderstorms. We'll see if that holds together. If not, we'll try again on Monday. That's more likely that we'll see some scattered showers and thunderstorms, as well as Wednesday. 2 warmest mornings come Monday and Tuesday. As far as overnight lows, those in the low 70s, but we'll stay well in the upper 60s for overnight lows after that. So have a good weekend.
Thanks, Kevin. A recent stretch of nice weather would have been perfect for some baseball, but the Indian season got wiped out by the pandemic.
Yeah, the pristine grass at Victory Field will be getting used for a unique new setup later this month. Brad Brown has a closer look in tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight.
The rest of the summer will pass without any more baseball at Victory Field. But soon the crack of the bat will be replaced by a different sound.
We've got, we think, the best greens in the city out there on our field, and we thought if our crew could trim them down even tighter than they normally do for a baseball game and put some flags and some cups out there, we could create a pretty cool experience out here for everybody.
The Indians are getting set to host the Lynx at Victory Field, a 9-hole course that's something like mini golf for big kids.
This year, no Indians games. It opened up a whole new canvas of opportunities, a time where you don't really need to worry about the damage that you're doing to the field nearly as much as you normally do. time where you don't feel like you're stuck between 8 days where the team is on the road and you have to get everything piled into there.
9 tee boxes will be set up all around the stadium. It starts with the first just beyond the left field lawn, works around to the right field corner and grandstands, and finishes up behind home plate in the new Elements Financial club level.
We wanted to try to create as immersive of a fan experience as we could. So the 9 tee boxes take you all the way around a 360 panorama of Victory Field. So you get every angle of the ballpark and of downtown in your background.
To transform the ballpark into a golf course for a weekend is exciting. And it's something different, something new. And this is 2020, so we're used to nothing being normal this year.
Joey Stevenson and the award-winning Indians grounds crew will be mowing 9 greens into their outfield and infield grass. Holes will be placed to create a challenging but fun course, with holes ranging from just 50 yards to 140.
So normally we mow at about 1 inch. Our greens will probably get down to about a 1/2 inch just to give that contrast. And we'll set the holes and probably paint a few bunkers out there and some hazards and maybe a couple other surprises before the fans arrive, and hopefully it's an enjoyable experience.
The game is set up so that each player gets 3 shots per hole. Your score is better based on how close you are to each of the 9 pins. It's meant to be played mostly with a 9-iron or a pitching wedge. You can bring your own clubs, or they'll have some available there at Victory Field. It is open to golfers of all ages and skill levels, and tee time reservations are on sale now. They'll be starting at 10 a.m. on August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Groups will be spread out to allow for social distancing. It's $39 each, $140 for a foursome. They also have a premium group package available in the Yingling Landing, where you play the whole course from that spot with drink service and a private bay. All of the information can be found online at IndyIndians.com. Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
It's time for the RTV6 photo of the day.
Jody Heinman sent us this picture of a hummingbird near her Latana plants in Noblesville.
It's not every day you get to see a hummingbird this up close. You can see the wings are a blur in this picture. That's because they are flapping so fast.
Hey, we want you to share your photo of the day with us. You can email it to news@WRTV.com.
All right, sunshine after a little patchy fog first thing in the morning. The sunshine carries us to 85 tomorrow afternoon. Chance of some rain late Sunday. Amanda?
Thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. We'll see you at 7.